Well, hello, my big kids and my little chicken nuggets. Welcome back to another edition of Mr. B's Art Room. Today is a special day. Today is what we call Cinco de Mayo. Does anybody know what cinco means? In Spanish. It's a Spanish word. Yeah, you know, it's part of counting. Let's see what it means. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. Cinco means five. That's right. Today's Cinco de Mayo. It's the 5th day of May. It's May 5th. And what's special about Cinco de Mayo is that in 1862, a long time ago, the Mexican army was going up against the French army. Now, the Mexican army was a small little army, and the French were big and tough, and they had a lot of people. Well, they didn't think they had much hope, but they did. They won it. They totally beat the French army. And so to celebrate that victory, they celebrate the 5th day of May, Cinco de Mayo. So today we're going to be making something we call Fiesta Banners. And you can see behind me, see these pretty banners hanging on the wall behind me? Those are called Fiesta Banners. Now, does anybody know what Fiesta means? Fiesta is another Spanish word. That's right. Fiesta means party. So these are party banners or celebration banners. And you can see how pretty they are. They're cut with little holes in them and hung to decorate. So that's what we'll be working on today. Today you're going to need scissors, paper. If you want, you can have colors, markers or crayons, string and tape. If you don't have the string and tape, that's okay. The most important thing is paper and scissors. So get those materials and let's make some Fiesta banners. Okay, to begin making a Fiesta banner, you need to take the paper and fold it in half like a card. Crease that edge. I turn it sideways again and crease and fold another time. It'll make a small rectangle. Now, if your fold isn't exact, it's okay, as long as it's able to open up and make 4 different pieces. When you open it, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see the 4 different pieces, but let's keep it closed for now. Once you have it closed, we're going to begin making lots of little cuts with our scissors all around the edges. Now, how many edges are there on a rectangle? That's right, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 sides to that rectangle. The important part is not to cut the entire side off. We're going to make lots of little cuts, but we still need to be able to see this straight side in part, and partly that one and this one and this one. I'll explain that as I make cuts. So, watch as I make this little cut, little triangle. Okay, so I did make a cut in the side, but I can still see that straight edge. I didn't cut that edge off. I cut a piece of the edge off, but not the entire edge. So I'll go ahead and make different cuts. You can make a square or rectangle cut. You can make a round cut. You could even cut a corner off. Let's see, I'll cut that little corner right there. So I've made 1, 2, 3, 4 different cuts, but do I still have that straight edge across the bottom? Yeah, there's a piece, there's a piece, there's a piece, and there's a piece. So you'll continue doing that all the way around until you're finished. So you can make long cuts like this. Now, my little chicken nuggets, this is good work for scissors. If you have a hard time with this, just keep practicing. Easy cuts are these triangles. You just turn this way with a straight line and that way with a straight line. You can make lots of little ones or big ones. Just be careful not to cut that edge off like I had mentioned earlier. Okay, I think I've done a fine job. Let's see if I still have all 4 of those edges. Okay, on this side, I've got an edge here. On the top, I have a little 1, 2, 3 pieces there. On this side, definitely I can see that straight edge. And across the bottom, I do as well. Okay, once you're finished and you think it looks good, it's time for the fun. You get to open it up and see what you've created. There's the first fold. And the second fold. Those are fun, aren't they? Yeah, I know you like that. What, Steve's? What, Steve? Oh yeah, Steve said they remind him of snowflakes. When you cut them, we do this sometimes in the winter, and we make snowflakes out of them. Yeah. What we can do with this, though, to make it a little different, is use colored paper, or we can decorate these with markers, which we'll do in a minute. But before I do, I want to show you something. Remember how I said it's important not to cut the edge off? You can see here's the piece of paper I've folded, and I've got the 4 edges demonstrated. Well, as you make those cuts, you can't cut off that entire edge. And here's a good example of one that I did fine. There's the top edge, I can still see that blue line. There's the side edge, I can still see that blue line. There's this bottom edge, I can still see that blue line. And then there's the blue line here. The problem is going to be if I cut off that whole edge or that blue line. Let me open it up just so you can see. It looks fine. Let me put it back together and get my scissors. And see this edge? I'm going to do a bad mistake. Everybody say, don't do it, Mr. B. Say no. I'm going to cut that part off. Do I still have some of that blue line? I do, right there. But I'm going to cut it. Say no. Uh-oh. So, I have some of this blue line, some of that blue line, some of that blue line, but that top blue line I cut off, didn't I? Let's see why that's important not to cut off. Looks okay. Oh, look. If you cut off one of those edges, it might cut it into 2 pieces. So that's the reason. Don't cut those edges off. Now you don't need these blue lines. If you want to add those just for help, you can do that. But you don't have to have those blue lines. Just remember, keep some of the original edge. All right, let's add color to it. Here we go. It sure does look nice with those decorations on it. What if we used colored paper? These sure are a lot of fun to make, and you can make as many as you want. Once you're finished with several, adding them to a string like the banner behind me is really a lot of fun. Let me show you how to do that. Okay, once you're finished decorating it, you can add it to a string to hang it. So I will take mine, turn it. I'm actually going to flip it over so the design is on the back. And now, up at the very top, I'm going to take the edges and fold. You can see I just folded a little bit down anywhere that it's sticking up. So I got 1, 2, and I'll have 3 pieces folded down. Now I'll take my string and put it up in that fold and get some tape and fold that piece down and put a little bit of tape on it. That'll hold it in that crease. I'll do that for all 3 pieces. One on this side. And my final piece here. Once it's finished, you can flip it back over and you can hang it. You can certainly add more on either side if you'd like to, or just hang the single banner all by itself. There you have it. Now that your banner's attached to a string, you can hang it up for decoration. Sure was fun having you do this with me today. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget... Steve, what are you doing? Wake up, Steve! Steve, why are you sleeping? Oh no. Boys and girls, Steve heard me wrong. These are called Fiesta Banners. Steve said he thought I said Siesta Banners. There's a big difference. The words sound a lot alike. Fiesta means party. Siesta means take a nap. Steve, ay caramba. Thanks for joining me today. Don't forget, share your projects with me. bbojanowski@rhmail.org. Have a great day. I miss you guys. Take care. Happy Cinco de Mayo.